If your ears are ringing, listen carefully, because this may completely change how you understand tinnitus and why so many treatments never seem to work for you. Most people are told tinnitus is an ear problem, something wrong with the cochlea or hearing loss. But if that were true, the ringing would not fluctuate with stress, jaw tension, neck position, sleep, or time of day. Yet, it often does. And that tells us the brain is deeply involved. In many cases, tinnitus is driven by an overactive auditory nervous system where excitatory signals overpower the brain's natural calming mechanisms, causing the brain to turn up the volume even when there is no sound. Well, here's the part most people are never told. For something to truly influence tinnitus, it has to reach the brain because the auditory processing centers live in the brainstem and cortex, and many supplements and strategies fail simply because they never cross the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier exists to protect the brain, and while that's a good thing, it also means a lot of things people take for tinnitus never reach the overactive circuits that are actually creating the ringing. And this is where taurine becomes interesting. Taurine is a simple amino acid, not a drug, not a sedative, but it does cross the blood-brain barrier, which means it can directly influence hyperexcitable auditory pathways. And once in the brain, taurine helps stabilize nerve firing, regulating calcium flow, reducing excessive glutamate activity, and supports inhibitory signaling through GABA and glycine, those pathways, all of which help calm an overactive nervous system. That's why some people don't notice instant silence, but they do notice the ringing becomes softer, less sharp, less reactive, and less emotionally distressing over time because the brain is no longer amplifying the signal as aggressively like it did. And taurine is not meant to block a symptom. It helps retrain an overstimulated nervous system, and that takes consistency. And for most people, taurine is taken at about 1,000 milligrams once or twice a day. Often one dose in the morning and one in the evening, especially if tinnitus worsens at night or interferes with sleep. It is generally very, very well tolerated and non-habit forming. But 3 or 4 days is really enough because the neural circuits need repeated inhibitory input because they downshift their gain. And most people need at least 1 to 2 weeks to notice meaningful changes and a full 3 to 4 weeks to know whether it is helping. And if your tinnitus changes with stress, jaw clenching, neck movement, or sleep quality, that is a strong sign that the nervous system is involved. And calming the brain becomes just as important as anything you can do for your ears. The goal here is not to chase silence. It's to calm the brain so it no longer feels the need to create noise. And when that happens, the ringing often loses its grip and it goes away. So if you've been suffering with those high-pitched, ringing, roaring sounds, those hissing sounds, you might just want to try taurine. I did, and it helped me tremendously. I wish you only good health to you, your loved ones, and families. Please leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell.